wiped out. Little is known about the ways of the people of the old world. Now, a new alien race has come to Earth. They were seeking to extract the planet's resources, but in doing so, they discovered things left behind in the dust, and they're determined to find their secrets. Today, a conference has gathered to discuss the implications of these discoveries from the top alien minds.
Hello, and welcome to the 337th Annual Blacktorian Zed Talks. I am your host, Leela Moo, and I am honored to be here. To think that we came here from Beta Z9 420 year steps ago is quite a zinger. Am I right? Thank you. But when we came here, we thought that we were the only intelligent life forms to have ever walked across the surface here. But what if I were to tell you, my dear fellow Beta Zeds, what if I were to tell you that other creatures have walked in this ding-dang bling-bling piece of space rock that we're standing on right now, huh? Yeah. Honestly, folks, I have been interested in this. I've been doing my own research, my own reading. Ever since I got my first zingabing from P-Bay, I've been obsessed. So, today, we have three scientists. Extremely intelligent. They're here to show you an artifact and a demonstration each. So maybe we can share some flammy-wap into the lives of these creatures that have walked on the very ground you're standing on right now. So, without much further ado, may I introduce our first professor, Eno Lahino! Give it up!
Thank you. It's been a long time since I've stood in front of such a Raptorian ruckus. It has taken me and my team 34 year steps to retrieve this object. We found it deep under the earth in a small metal hollow cube inside of an old shelter from the creatures that once lived here. It was a hard, dangerous, rough work. Many times me and my team thought that we would not make it, and yet here we are, standing in its glory. It is the only of its type in existence. We call it the Vipa. And after myriad hours spent studying, we believe that we finally determined the purpose of it. If you're to observe the Vipa, you'll see that it has many ridges within, and these ridges operate as a defense mechanism, guarding a valuable treasure, a treasure that it does not want to be found. And despite the many perils to myself, my team, and my handsome schnozznob, we have uncovered it, and we have unraveled its secrets. We cut open it, and we discovered a yellow treasure. Its gooey yellow insides are incredibly gooey, and can only be used for one thing and one thing only. Quadriferin. Yes. Quadriferin. Well, it might be taboo to us beta sets. It was not so for them. And in all honesty, I would not be willing to do this to all of you if it was not for the purpose of education, and I apologize and hope that you can forgive me for my doing so.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor. I'm sure that the audience will never forget that. Spirited presentation. As a minor student of the ancients myself, is it true that these humans need some source of energy? This energy that they get from creatures before them, the spoils and the corpses of these creatures, in a sort of organic map, if you will. Might this object be one of those items from that organic map? What was it called? What did Hector call it? Soil! Might come from that.
Hector is a conspiratorial, flimsy flam who that hoopla wants to make us think that humans use their moves is the word?
Yeah.
Moves
Yeah.
to do anything else but describe their most sincere vulnerabilities to one another. Ha! I said, ha!
Okay.
We all know the only thing Hector could actually get right is how to pork raw. It goes now.
Oh, okay. Well, I bring to you our next scientist from deep inside the Emporian sector, who thinks that they have discovered an artifact with such deep complexity that it may even shed a darker side to those objects that we are studying. May I present to you Ornak Balu, master in the field!
Thank you. I am honored to be here. And thank you to my fellow colleagues for bringing such valuable information to the table. I started out on this path when I first saw the Trovium over at Innipet. That vision was real inspiration. It made me want to discover more about this old, mysterious planet. And I thought that I would only find what would be harmonious and loving. But it turns out that, like all creatures in this universe, the humans have a darker side. And artifacts like this Vingabane show the full picture of how troubled they were, and maybe, just maybe, why they're not here today. It took some time for me and my team to transfigure this primitive device. Instead of using leaf wands, we had to use a new power source, and we had to retrofit the numerator to make this entire thing work. You see, this machine was of devious nature. It was created to bend the will of other creatures, possibly of their own species. And through the awful process of Kledstorping, the subject would be forced to listen to the hideous sounds. The sounds so terrible, so awful, that they would do anything to try to get it to stop. What am I talking about? I'm sorry, I digress. I'm just trying to buy us all a little bit more time. So, again, I'm very sorry, my friends, but to truly understand these creatures, you must hear this Kledstorping.
I know Ms. Oso calls it in her peer-reviewed book, Tools of the Humans. This machine has very similar qualities to some of those that humans use to make their energy, their food, as they call it. They take the food and they put it into the machine, and then that machine will change it so that they can absorb it.
Oh, please. Eisno Sosu stands on the back of the hack you mentioned earlier. You mean to say that these creatures would need to take all their time to gather and process and then absorb their food? Please. Why don't they just, I don't know, get nutrients from the air like us beta Zeds with every single breath we take? Oh, please, I say it's absurd. Straight absurd. I mean, there's no way these creatures could consume and absorb all of that without having some way to dump all of this extra matter. They couldn't fully assimilate all of this waste. Ha! I say ha!
Well, actually, there is an explanation for that, and...
Settle down. Settle, everyone settle down. We are all here to discover the same thing, and that is how these strange beings that roamed this planet long before our arrival, the truth about them. It is only fair that we respect to find to the glam troop and avoid any yard poo that could divide us. If there is one thing that science has taught us, it is that challenging long-held beliefs to see if they stand up and is what makes something a fact and not a belief anymore. And aren't we all here at the Zed Talks to find facts?
Well stated! What's your name again? Zorzor! Well stated. Will you present to us what you found?
I've discovered the single, very most important invention that any of these beings ever created. I call it Tiki Tupu. After the purpose we believe it serves. You see, this roll of material is perfectly separated into precisely measured squares and can be used to measure great distances. Each roll is exactly the same, and when laid out front, you can count these squares. Allow me to demonstrate. This last bit is the most intriguing. Due to the vast distance that this measuring fabric can cover, it can be quite difficult to communicate to fellow creatures how long the distance actually is. But the creature can use the tube to report loudly and clearly said distance.
46 waggle-womps.
I can't take it anymore. This is clearly not what these objects are for. Am I going to have to travel back in time and... No. I'm going to show you what they're for. Right here. Right now.